Hey everyone, Professor Bob Long here. The purpose of this video is to introduce a little bit about the college and my class and myself to my students. Now, we're doing these videos because we're in the coronavirus or COVID-19 shutdown, and we have migrated all of our face-to-face A&P courses to an online format for the time being. I can't wait to get back to face-to-face and get to interact with students and get to know about you guys and learn about your lives, because they touch my life and inform me and make me a better person. But until then, we got to do what we got to do. Now, most of you are still local. You're here near Del Mar College in Corpus Christi. Okay, so what you don't realize, though, is that some of the students might be in other parts of the state or in other states. Since it's fully online, we have people enrolling from all over right now. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the college and the class, and then a little bit about me. Okay, so the class you're taking right now is Human Anatomy and Physiology Part 1 or Part 2. The course catalog number is Biology 2401, Biology 2402, so that if you transfer somewhere, those advisors can look up your coursework and check it off and say, you don't have to take this anymore, you got it. Okay, and the reason they can do that is because Del Mar College is a fully accredited community college or junior college. We're a 2-year institution. You do your freshman and sophomore work here. And we're fully accredited. We're governed by 2 governing agencies, the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board, or THECB, and the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools, or SACS. Those 2 organizations, one is statewide, one is at the national level. They come in and make sure that all of our faculty have the academic or the professional credentials to teach the coursework. You cannot have someone who doesn't have enough background in biology teaching biology classes. So they also make sure that we're meeting all the requirements that the state and the national level requires for us to keep our doors open and keep offering the courses that we offer. If we were performing poorly, they can shut your programs down. Now, I can tell you with great pride that Del Mar College not only checks all the boxes, we pass all of their requirements with flying colors. We're an outstanding institution, not only within the state, but within the nation. We're one of the top 10 college or Hispanic serving institutes in the nation. And we have award-winning programs in the culinary arts and aviation maintenance and welding technology and biotechnology and our health sciences, our speech and communications programs, our music programs. We've got programs for just about anything that you want to do. Sound recording technology, if you want to be a sound engineer working in a studio recording major artists, we got students that have done that. So now, we have a broad background of programs. We are fully accredited in all of them, and we are an outstanding institution with outstanding programs, lots of nationally and internationally known authors that are teaching here, and other things. As a matter of fact, the gentleman who wrote the lab manual that we utilize, which is one of the top lab manuals in the world, teaches anatomy and physiology right here at Del Mar College. Okay, so you know a little bit about the college. You know that we're fully accredited, that we're an outstanding institution, and if you transfer this course anywhere, they will take it because we do a great job at what we do. If you have any questions about the programs that we offer and you're not at Del Mar College, or you need any questions about Del Mar College, you can go to www.delmar.edu and look up the information that you need. Okay. Now, Human A&P, Anatomy, Physiology 1 and 2, are technically biology courses in the sciences of biology or in the natural sciences. Now, we are not usually a transfer course for biology majors. Human anatomy and physiology are usually not a requirement to graduate with a degree in biology. They usually want general physiology and comparative anatomy, okay, anatomy of vertebrates. Human anatomy and physiology does count as a transfer course as an elective for biology majors and other things. But most of the programs that require human anatomy and physiology are what we call the allied health sciences. Those health sciences that work along with physicians to provide your health care and restore health. So that would include things like registered nurses. That's one of the big programs on our campus. Everybody wants to be a nurse because the pay is high. It's a great job. Okay, LVN, licensed vocational nurse, respiratory therapy, surgical technology, radiology technician, doing x-rays, diagnostic medical sonography, echocardiography, medical lab tech, EMT paramedics, dental hygiene, dental assisting. I'm sure I'm forgetting a few programs. Occupational therapy assistant, physical therapy assistant. By the way, if you want to be a physical therapist, occupational therapist, or a pharmacist, or a physician's assistant, and you're going to transfer somewhere to do those programs, they still require human anatomy and physiology 1 and 2. So we have well over a dozen programs, 15 or more, that require human A&P as a prerequisite. And the reason it's required by those courses is because human anatomy and physiology sets the foundation. It gives you the understanding of those strong fundamental principles that everything you do as a healthcare professional are going to pivot off of. So when you give a medication, you need to know what the effects of that medication are. You need to know the side effects, and you need to know what it could do to your patient and why you're giving it to them. When you do patient assessment, what's going wrong? You have to think, okay, which part of the body, what's not functioning properly that provides this effect, okay? So everything you do in these programs is going to come back to anatomy and physiology. I know that for a number of reasons. One of the reasons I know that is because every semester, without fail, as a matter of fact, and I'm not exaggerating, already this morning I got 2 emails from former students, or one actually currently in my class, who's also enrolled in one of the health science programs, who talks about how much this class has furthered their knowledge and their understanding of why they're doing what they're doing. Yesterday I had 3 emails. The day before that I had 4 emails from former students saying, I'm graduating with my degree in nursing. We're near the end of the semester right now when this video is being filmed. And everything we do is based on anatomy and physiology. We still use our A&P textbook. We still use our A&P notes. Okay, so I'm very proud of that. And I'm humbled that they chose me to contact, that my former students keep me in mind. But I can tell you without fail that in order to get to your career, you have to get into your program. Not only that, you have to complete the program, you have to pass your state boards and continue to be an excellent practitioner, or you won't last long. So human anatomy and physiology is a prerequisite for most of the allied health sciences, and you have to perform at a high level or you don't get into the program. You are competing against all these other students enrolled in this class for seats, and the number of seats are limited. So you need to work hard, you need to make the grades, you need to make the sacrifices it takes to get in. You have to do that with integrity and hard work. If you try to cheat your way through this class just to get a grade so that you get in, you will flunk out of the program. I can't tell you how many times students come back to me and say, man, everything is A&P. We use A&P every single day in all of those majors that I've talked about. So know your stuff, know it well, and prepare hard, prepare well, and prepare with a high degree of integrity so that you can complete your program. When you complete the program, you pass your state boards, then you become an excellent practitioner if you know what you're doing. So that's what the class is for, and know that you're taking this class at an accredited institution, that it will transfer, it will count, okay? A little bit about me so that you know who I'm dealing with and you feel comfortable with me. Other side, I'm Bob Long. I have a monitor here and everything's reversed as I see it. I'm Bob Long. I'm a full professor of biology. If you have any questions for me individually, it's blong@delmar.edu. Whether you're enrolled in my class or you just stumbled across these videos on YouTube. So, I love teaching this class. I love the topic of human anatomy and physiology. I still get goosebumps after 21 years of teaching the same stuff, talking about this stuff every semester. I love it. It's amazing to me. I still have that childlike wonder and amazement at how beautifully our bodies are designed and function. It's an engineering marvel. I love it so much, and I get so excited about it that I love sharing it and talking about it with other people. So that's why I do what I do. Now, my background. I have a bachelor's in biology. I graduated with honors, magna cum laude, missed summa cum laude by a couple of hundredths of a point. Still mad about that. I won't go into that detail, but nonetheless, the reason I had such good grades is because I knew that my future depended upon my hard work and that I had to outcompete all the other students in my classes in order to get accepted to the programs that I wanted to get accepted to have the career and the life that I love. So I knew from the get-go, this is a tough race, and I got to work harder than most people in here in order to get to the next side. I grew up rather financially strapped. I grew up poor. We didn't have a lot. My mom and dad both dropped out of school to take care of their families. When they got married, they started having children and couldn't go back to college back then. My mom waited tables and cleaned houses. My dad worked for a railroad system that provided us insurance and benefits. And even though he hated his job at the end, he continued to do it for his family. We lived paycheck to paycheck a large part of our life, and I know those stresses of wondering, can you make rent? I didn't get to play Little League sports some years because we didn't have enough money. It was either pay rent and pay bills or pay for me to play a sport. So fortunately, we all played football in the streets and in the park down the street and basketball in the neighborhood. But nonetheless, I know what it's like. I know the issues that you are facing. I don't come from a very rich background, even though some people think that, being an old white guy, that we all grew up with parents who were doctors and lawyers and business owners. That's not true. I know what it's like to struggle financially and see my family struggling and saw the stresses. So I knew I didn't want that as an adult. So I worked as hard as I could in school to get into colleges. I worked as hard as I could in college to get to the next level so that I could have the financial security and peace that my parents always sought. And I have it. My wife and I do really well, and we provide our children a great future. I hope that each of you, as one of my students, gets there too. I know that's why you're here, to provide a better future, to have a career that you love and that gives you the opportunity for upward mobility to provide your children and your loved ones a better future. Okay? So, I worked hard as a bachelor's student. I got a bachelor's degree in biology, graduated with honors, got accepted to medical schools, but my junior year, one of my professors noticed that I had a high level of work ethic, that I was very professional and had outstanding grades. I showed up on time or early. I stayed late. I did everything that was asked of me to the best of my ability. And she invited me to come work in her research lab. And I needed a job. So I had 2 jobs at the time, and one of them was in the research lab. And I loved it because I was taking the information from the textbook and applying it to the biomedical sciences. And I fell in love with research, and I fell in love with the academic world. I was also tutoring at the time, and I was very popular as a tutor, so much so that the gentleman who ran the tutoring program came to me and asked if I would be a TA student or teaching assistant. Having an undergraduate student teaching labs or being a lab TA was unheard of at the time, but I got invited to do it because they had a shortage of students. And I taught a couple of freshman biology labs as an undergraduate. I fell in love with teaching and research so much that I said no to medical school, even though I got into a bunch of them. And I went in to do my master's to continue my academic training to become a professor. I worked in a protein biochemistry lab. I got a master's in biology, but it was really in protein biochemistry, where we used techniques in molecular genetics and cell biology and immunology. We developed monoclonal antibodies, and we were looking for proteins in what's called the protein sorting area. And I absolutely loved it so much more. I got to continue my teaching. I got to continue my research, and I was getting to do lectures, which was also kind of unique for a master's level student. But I have taught lectures and or labs in freshman biology 1 and 2, cell and molecular biology, genetics, anatomy and physiology, general physiology, microbiology, biochemistry, neurobiology, neuroanatomy, neurophysiology. I did some some guest lectures for graduate courses in immunology and protein biochemistry. So I have a very strong, extensive background, not only in the academic world, but also in the teaching world. While working, when I finished my master's, I went into a PhD program and worked on my PhD, continued teaching, continued research, and I was in love. This is the career for me where I belong in the world. Unfortunately, right before completing my dissertation, a tragedy befell my family, and I had the carpet yanked out from under me. So I moved back to Corpus Christi and took a job doing sales and deliveries and working in a warehouse. I did whatever it took to keep the lights on and food on the table. Now, I tell you all of this because I want you to know I do have the academic background. I also have the life experience and have faced the same struggles that many of y'all are facing. Death, tragedy, disease, loss, all those heartaches that many of y'all might be going through. So I understand what it takes to get through your education. It ain't easy. It's a struggle. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint, and there will be many obstacles. But I was able to navigate those obstacles, and I want to help you guys navigate them. So after getting all of that done and then changing careers for a little while, I realized I got to get back to science and medicine. I applied for Del Mar College's surgical technology program. So after getting a bachelor's, a master's, and most of my doctorate, but my dissertation, I came back to a community college and got an associate's degree. But it provided me a job, a career. And so I worked for a few years as a surgical technologist and a first assistant for a group of orthopedic surgeons. While doing that, I realized how much I missed the classroom, and I applied at Del Mar College for a position in anatomy and physiology and biology. I got the job back in 1999, and I've been here for 21 years. I absolutely love what I do. As I mentioned before, I'm so enthusiastic and excited about not only the topic, but the students in my class, helping you guys navigate those struggles and get through this difficult pathway. I love the struggle, and I love to see the successes. So anyway, that's what you need to know about me. I'm here for my students. I have the academic background, but not only do I have the classroom knowledge, I have the clinical applications. I've walked the same hallways that you're going to walk on West Campus when you get into your programs here at Del Mar, when you're going through the Allied Health Science programs. I've worked in the same hospitals that most of y'all are going to work at. I've lived in the same neighborhood that many of y'all live in. I grew up in the ABC streets, or the alphabet streets. I'm a product of Corpus Christi. I know the struggles. I know the community. And I think that helps me help my students. All right? A couple of last things I want you to know about me. First and foremost, my number one priority in life is being the best husband and father that I can be. I love my wife and my children, and I will never jeopardize anything that results in me not being with them. That's my number one priority. Secondly, I love my career. I love teaching anatomy and physiology. I love the college that I'm at because I've seen how it changes students' lives and helps them achieve their dreams. So nothing will come between me and my career. The third thing that I love is my students. I know the struggle. I know why you're here. And I have a passion for trying to help my students get through to the other side, to get that career, to get a better life for your family, for your children, for your future generations. Okay. And then I love guitars and the Pittsburgh Steelers and sports. I love coaching. I do a lot of youth coaching because I love, again, seeing children work hard and being successful. So that's all about me. Know that I'm here for my students. I will do anything I can to help you be successful within parameters of ethical parameters. I will not jeopardize my career or my family for my students. So don't try to Facebook me and become friends on Facebook. I don't do a lot of social media. And when I do, the only people that are in my social media are people that I really know. Now, I have let a few students friend me many years after they've graduated my course, and they're professionals, and we're now colleagues. But otherwise, this is how we interact, okay? So know that we're a fully accredited institution, that this course is designed to help you get through your career, and know that I'm here for you. I've got the academic background to know what I'm doing. I have the clinical experience to know how you're going to apply this information, and I'm going to do everything I can to help you be successful within certain parameters. Sorry this went a little long, but thanks for watching. I hope you have as much fun learning from me as I'm going to have teaching you, and I hope this is an enjoyable process for you. I hope you fall in love with A&P the same way I did, and I hope it helps you be successful in your future. If you have any questions, email me, and I'll see you in class. Thanks for watching.